Hello and welcome to the Daily Atheist Morning Show. It is Saturday, March 7th. Saturday, March 7th, 2020. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a good weekend. I am. Love Sci-Fi Saturday. It's Sci-Fi Saturday. We get to talk about Sci-Fi Saturday. I've got some folks here. Wes. You know, Wes, say your last name for me, brother.
Sturdevant.
Sturdevant. That's what I was going to say. Wes Sturdevant.
Yeah.
He's been on the show before. He's going to be my guest host for today, and our special guest for Sci-Fi Saturday is going to be Duncan. Duncan, and now these gentlemen are from what's the name of your channel again?
Guild of Reason, and then he's doing Obscure Observations.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. Obscure Observations and the Guild of Reason. Yes. So I've got the links down below. Any of them? Wes, I need to get yours corrected down there. So no worries. So good morning, guys. How are you doing? Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having us on.
Great. Thanks for having me back again.
Yeah. So
must not screw the first one up too much.
Well, I was just being nice to Duncan. You know?
Yeah.
You know, but it's wonderful guests like you guys who make me realize that I really need to start screening better.
Yeah.
Now, good morning. Let me say hi to everybody in the channel real quick. We've got Crispy Marshmallow. Good morning. I've never seen Crispy Marshmallow before. Said they're here to see Sandy the Sane. Sandy the Sane does come in and about. He's also planning on doing the Dungeons and Dragons stream this morning or tomorrow morning. I'm not really sure. He's good. He's doing one of them. We're getting our ducks in a row there. So good morning, Easism. Nana. I'm just going to call you Nana. It's easier that way. I got a grandma called Nana, so I'm just going to think about you, my grandma. Some guys are Chuck out there carving somebody's name into his arm. He's going to be mad at me. Anyway, good morning, Nana. Amiga Nuts. Let's see. Easism, Junk Shop Library. Easism is an artist. I need to get some of his art for my background.
That'd be cool.
Paul Cammish is here. Goodness, there's a whole bunch of folks here. Good morning, everybody. You know, going with the Saturday in the later hour, I think really kind of helped people. Matt Pig is probably listening. I think it may be work time for him or something. Atheist Ant was here, and Daniel Peterson. Man, there's all kinds of folks. And I think I even saw Critical Cripple. So thank you everybody for showing up. And you know, I think it's awesome that I got so many people in the chat. It's hard to keep up. You guys are wonderful. Wes, Duncan, Sci-Fi Saturday. Now, Wes has admitted that he's not overly sci-fi-ish, right? And that's okay.
I still like my Star Trek. Don't get me wrong.
Okay, yeah. Well, see, Star Trek is it. I mean, all you need is Star Trek, and that's a badge. You know, it's like a
Star Wars too. I mean, Star Wars got some good ones. I like the first three that came out. The last three I didn't understand of the series or something. They'll have to all explain the order. Assuming, I guess Yoda did that with his numbering system.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah,
makes sense. Yeah. So the most recent three, you mean, or the last George Lucas ones?
What's the last one you were telling me about, Duncan? That I haven't seen yet. It's
and I haven't seen it either. The new Rise of the Skywalker or something like that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that. And then there's another one I think that I haven't seen. Maybe a series or something. I'm not sure.
Oh, The Mandalorian, which was also
Mandalorian.
I like that.
Oh yeah, The Mandalorian. You know, The Mandalorian is really cool in that. My wife is not. I mean, she's going into sci-fi. She's come a long way. She really enjoyed Star Trek. We've been through all the Star Trek. We're in the Enterprise series now, and it's kind of harder to get through than the old Next Gen. You know, she's coming to the realization that the old Next Gen is dead. It's gone. You know, she thought that when we watched more Star Trek, it was going to be Star Trek, but Enterprise is not like, and then it won't ever be like again. The closest thing you'll ever get, and they tried to tell us, the Orville, the closest they'll ever get, or we'll see again, is the Orville to the actual what we know as Star Trek from the Next Gen. And so when it comes to Star Wars, it's like over there, and she doesn't really care so much. And then we did watch like the first one of these new ones where Rey, is that her name? Ray?
Yeah.
Ray? Yeah, Ray. Sorry. Sorry. Ray, you know, she's like, going along one day and everything's cool, and wakes up the next morning and somebody's chasing her, and she can suddenly use the Force, and she's got magic powers. And that kind of really. I mean, and then she went up against this dude who was supposed to be one of the best, and with her first waking up powers could defeat this guy, and that really that kind of did it for me too. I was really
it sort of undermined the whole sell that they had with like the lightsaber being such a tricky thing that the Jedi have to train with it for a long time before they can fully use it, and then all of a sudden to have that happen, it sort of makes you go a little bit.
She should have crawled away with like 2 fewer limbs.
It's like nunchucks on steroids, and I don't know if any of you guys have tried to pick up nunchucks and tried to swing them about before, but if you haven't, pro tip is watch yourself when you do, because invariably people like smack themselves in the head or on the groin or both, which is funny, but still,
absolutely
inadvisable.
Very true. So that's I've done the nunchuck things. They hurt. I've never had anybody else hit me with nunchucks. They hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So there's that. Go ahead.
I used to train like martial arts a lot, and had like these foam nunchuck sort of things. They were hard, but they had foam around the outside, and there was a boxing bag, and I was like, well, how much damage can you do with foam nunchucks on a boxing bag? I smacked it as hard as I could, and it bounced off the boxing bag and just almost clocked me in the head. And I was like, whoa, that thing almost wiped me out. So the thing is, like, even the foam I would have canged. So those things are silly, dangerous weapons. It's like if someone's trying to attack you, throw them a pair of nunchucks. And you're like, right, this sort of stuff out shortly.
Give them nunchucks. That's a good idea. I did a lot of stuff like that as a kid, though. I was really into the martial arts and stuff. And I remember goofing off with them then, and I always hurt myself. I don't remember anybody ever hurting me. I always hurt myself. My arm, be like whack. So,
I do very much know.
Yeah. And then I'm sure at least once I popped myself in the testicles. You can't not with something like that. So there was always joys. I'm sure I've blocked that out. But just imagine picking up a lightsaber. I've always thought that. I mean,
very unforgiving.
Well, unless it could be not. Unless when you turned it on or something, it put a field around you that protected you from it itself. But I've never seen anything like that ever. But then I don't think neither have I seen anybody ever harm themselves with this lightsaber. And you would think as often and as many times as you've seen them used, that would be something we'd have seen by now. I'm just thinking maybe somebody has. It may have happened in the extended universe.
I think sort of what they do is like, again, so drag it back a little bit to the other thing with martial arts, but like the weapon is like an extension of your body, and just where you know where your jab is when you're fighting, so too where your lightsaber is once you're fully attuned to using that sort of weaponry sort of things. It's like, because I said, like we get used to all sorts of crazy, like some people could actually use nunchucks. I mean, like, some people have nunchucks that are not just 2 segments, but 3 segments. And you go, oh, surely now you're taking the piss. But then you see them do things and you're like, oh, well, that's actually more devastating. Well, fair play. Yeah. Okay. Don't mess with the tried nunchuck thing. Yeah. I apologize if there's actually a name for that. And I didn't actually bother to actually know what the actual name for the tri nunchuck is. But
I didn't know that was such a creature.
Oh, it is, and it's quite a, like, to see it in action is quite interesting sort of things. I'm pretty sure there's a Jackie Chan movie out there where he deals with them. He deals with all sorts of things.
Yeah. Well, Daniel Peterson is talking about Star Wars as being science fantasy, and I guess it could be defined that way.
Somewhat is, yeah. That's what I was sort of getting at. It sort of like does have like a night feel to it, sort of thing. So it's like it's almost reskinned. And when you find out the history of like Star Wars, you find out that it did borrow heavily from sources that were like the Japanese samurai films. I can't think of quite at the moment, but someone in the comments can. I'm sure, I can't see the comments, by the way, at the moment in the setup that I've got.
That's
but,
okay. We'll just tease
yeah.
you. You won't know it.
Yeah, if someone says something important, then let me know.
Yes, I will. Well,
Yeah.
I did get. All right, so I did mention Daniel Peterson mentioned Star Wars as science fantasy. Ease and Works is saying it's real life, and I mean, you got to use the Force on that one. That's kind of a matter of opinion.
It is an Olympic sport now.
Star Wars is an Olympic sport.
Well, the saber fighting is
lightsaber fighting. Well, yeah, but it doesn't really count until somebody loses an arm.
Oh.
It's all just fun and games until someone loses an arm. Yeah.
Yes, because they always lost, and that's kind of where we're going. It's like in Star Wars, everybody and their dog, at least some point, I mean, they all have, and then there's lightsaber battles where you've got whole bunches of people going on about themselves with lightsabers, and never once do you see somebody go, "Damn, I cut off my own hand."
Yeah,
or because I often think they're gonna flip and get their head, because they're all doing this with it, and you're thinking, how come nobody's lost an ear? Give me an ear, people, one time, an ear. Some moron out there. Look at the world we live in.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. I'm okay now.
That's like I've often thought like if they drop their lightsaber or something, what just happens is just like plummets through to the core of the planet or something, and just sort of sits there for a bit. Like, whoops, lose a lot of lightsabers that way. Maybe I get it like to a keychain or something for them, so I start dropping them through to the center of the planet.
Mm-hmm. I enjoyed Dead Space and Portal. I didn't really get too far through in the Dead Space series of games. I remember getting through the first one. Portal. I love Portal. Oh man, I wish they made a third Portal. Or if they do, I don't know about it. The first two were just wonderful. I love games. Yeah. I've thought about doing a Twitch channel to help broaden my social media base. And I've been encouraged by Miss Kristen to do that. Best name ever. She's encouraged me to do that. And the game I thought I would do would be Portal. That's what I would start with. It's just Portal. You played Portal?
I've played like a version of Portal because like I've got a Lego game where you play all sorts of crazy games, and they've got Portal in there as part of it. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Yeah, so somewhat. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a really good concept for a puzzle game. Really.
Yeah. Eases and Works is in the chat. They're talking about what Star Wars is, and there's been somebody who mentioned before, right, that a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. A long time ago, let's just say a long time ago. Now let's go B. Our own galaxy moves through space. Therefore, a long time ago, it would have been technically far, far away from where it is now. So some people speculate that the Star Wars galaxy is our galaxy, just further back in time.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah,
and that is part of it.
Then more credence to that science fantasy thing that was mentioned before by Dan someone. Yeah? Daniel?
Oh, yes. Daniel Peterson. Yes.
Peterson.
Yes. I'm all right. So I just gave up and put my glasses on. Sorry, wife. If the wife is watching. She gives
the only problem I have with that is evolution.
Yeah.
Or do you just ignore that with science fiction?
Well, it just depends on how far away, how long ago.
Yes.
If it was 30,000 years ago, then. But really, when you go back and watch, Star Trek has got a history or Star Wars, has a history that goes back tens of thousands of years. So they'd have to really go. There was one theory I really enjoyed, and what it was that humans had destroyed their world here, like we're one to do, right? And then we were fleeing our world. Or some of us were, something like that. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. But as that group of people were fleeing, they were sucked into a black hole kind of thing, and it popped them out a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Okay. And then they populated Coruscant and became the people there, and then split out from there, 100,000 years ago or whatever. So. And that's cool. I like that idea. That's not a bad idea. Let me catch up on some of this. Heard rumor that Harrison Ford shot himself in the foot with his blaster. Okay. But that would be cool. Yeah. See, I kind of get what I'm saying though about the whole. How come nobody ever will, especially a lightsaber, dude? I'm talking an ear. Just give me an ear, baby. Just one ear. I just want an ear. Like, oh, damn. I'd be like, put that down and get my blaster again. Anyway, especially Rey, right? She'd never seen the thing before.
I know. That's what gets me. Is like, as I said before, with the actual Jedis who have trained a lot, I can sort of understand in them knowing where their weapon is and things like that. But Rey, who's very, very new to the whole Force thing, can all of a sudden just not chop off her ear. Yeah, it's like
yeah, her ear, her leg, her
anything.
arm.
Yeah. Even just a haircut, for Christ's sake, you know.
Have you seen somewhere on the internet? There's this meme, and I think if you go back and you watch it, you'll see it. When Luke first picks up the lightsaber in Obi-Wan's presence or in his little cave or whatever, the first thing he does is look into it, and then like this kind of thing, and the meme has it turned on when it's going. That would have been wonderful. What a way to end a short movie, you know? He gets the thing, boom, 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 show's over. Anyway, a little fantasy. So when I was growing up, I loved Luke Skywalker. Thought he was the thing. I wanted to be Luke Skywalker. You know, I would certainly love to be stranded on a desert planet and get a sword and do the thing and kill the bad guys. And then I grew up and I watched the show. And Luke, if you go back and watch the show, he's just a whiny little pissy brat the whole way. That's all this guy does. Not the actor. Love the actor. Actor's a wonderful guy. But the whole time, I can't do it. It's too hard. I don't want to do it. I'm alone. I'm scared. Sack up, man, and do the job. And then, of course, like you're saying, we watched the Jedi. These guys get training with this stuff for years and years and years when they're really tiny. And here comes this jackass. He's like, oh, I can do this. And he doesn't immediately decapitate himself. Why? First time he whipped it around like that, he should have lost his shoulder.
Yeah.
And then he spends 3 whole hours with Yoda. They get the sweat on. Yoda pees on his back. And then the next thing you know, he's able to go off. He's a full-blown Jedi Knight.
Yeah. I would have turned it on, had it and then just looked at it a little bit and then turned it off and then slowly put it back down. I'm going to need more information about that thing before I push any more buttons on that.
Right, and a clean pair of underwear.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so that's always. I mean, I dig it. Great fantasy. It made for great fantasy as a kid, but really, I just think that was he should have totally had a bit of
that's the thing. Most stories will have 1 or 2 things where you can pull them apart and say, "Oh, that's a bit of a hole there, or a plot hole, or some sort of MacGuffin that is used, or all sorts of tricks they can use." But it's when they're used too often, it can get a bit much, and then it sort of feels a bit wrong, sort of things. But if you just use those little things occasionally, sort of things, it doesn't wreck the whole feel of the things, but otherwise it breaks immersion, I find.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was fun, but yeah, I know, I get it. It's just but when we talk about the things like Rey.
Well, really she breaks the immersion for me in that regard. As I said, she has too many things where she does things that are just a bit the things. If she just did it once or twice, it wouldn't feel like she was such a Mary Sue.
Yeah.
But because she sort of falls victim to, because she's sort of portrayed as that, so she gets seen as that. Yeah.
Well, there may be something I don't know about the situation. I got to give them credit about that. Maybe there's something that happens, but really, this is how it seems. Rey, we see Rey. She's what, 18, 19? We'll give them that, 18. And she has she's living in the shadow of this dead stuff, but she doesn't do around with the Star Wars Jedi Force stuff. Nothing. And then something happens. Don't know, she gets the I don't know what happens, but all of a sudden she can use it. All of a sudden, not only can she use it, but use it well enough to beat the guy in the sword fight. Plus, being captured, interrogated, And not only, again, knowing how to work a lightsaber, but knowing how to control another person.
100
that she could even do that she would know all of a sudden. Now, if there was some history or back history of her being able to do that, or somehow
or she'd read some text, or she'd had some training or something. Yeah.
But of course, I love. Matter of fact, I'm prepared to watch the show again. Because it's been a while since I've seen it, a day or three. But that those things pull it out for me.
Yeah. No, I found that she was an overt Mary Sue character. So, like, she, as I said, she did everything right, and it just sort of got a bit, over the top, and a bit. You knew that she was always going to be right because she couldn't do anything wrong. So it would always sort of pan out. So, like, it has a bit of like the Superman effect with Mary Sue's, where they get to the point where they sort of become a little bit of a boring character because there is nothing that can actually fully challenge them, because they've always got the answer to every situation or things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, without having seen the most recent one, again, there may be some sort of explanation. I like this point that Daniel Peterson makes, is that Dead Space has a cult called Unitology, almost the exact same as Scientology. I didn't know that. I'd have to, but I welcome it. I'm a bad man.
You're welcome which, Scientology or Unitology?
No, I welcome the comparison. It's evil and harmful, and it's like a metaphor. It's a metaphor. Apparently, other people have also enjoyed it. Oops, I almost blocked you, making nuts. Unitology, that's right. So, and there's rubber chickens being thrown around, by the way. So, good morning, all those people who have shown up. I put my glasses on. Sorry, don't tell the wife. So I've never played all of, but I guess I could put that on my list, that if I'm gonna do the thing at the place, I really should pick up the rest of that game and beat it, because now that I know that they're mocking Scientology,
you gotta get into that.
It's worth the purchase all in itself. That's there it is. Yes. So, with Star Trek, I appreciate the philosophical side that Star Trek used to have. Now, that being said, I haven't finished watching the new Discovery, and I haven't watched Picard. Set those aside. I haven't seen those, so I can't judge those. The Enterprise series still tries to have a moral, even though the series isn't the same as Star Trek. The movies that came out in 2009, the new movies that came out, those are more Star Wars with Star Trek emblems on them. Yeah, than they are real Star Trek. There's not a lot of moral stuff going on like it is the Star Trek. So,
and Next Gen was like really good for that sort of things. And you said they still do it somewhat in Enterprise, but Enterprise is more about like the actual them attempting to get into space. They're the first people out there. They're trying to overcome all those hurdles that present themselves for the people who have never been out there before, sort of things. Whereas Next Gen was very much focused on the diplomacy of all these different Federation planets trying to work together, and you know what I mean. So
yes,
absolutely. I like both series. So,
good morning, Kristen. Good morning, Kristen. How are you doing? I haven't put the thing in the thing for the stuff for the program yet. Nightbot. I haven't put those things in yet. I'm a bad person. I haven't, but I should. I will. I just haven't. I forgot. I forgot. I got it, and I was like, I got up this morning. I had 2 sales. I had 2 sales yesterday and a sale today, and I'm like, I got another sale, and I kind of had to post crap, and I got all, and I forgot. I'm sorry, Chris. I'm a bad. Okay, now moving on. So good morning, Kristen. I got Mama Atheist and Easism. There was somebody else that popped in, but good morning, everybody. Theological introspection. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, those 3 Star Trek movies, I set them aside because, man, I do enjoy them, and I really enjoy most of the last one. One of the things that which one I'm talking about, the Star Trek.
Yeah, the new ones. Yep.
No, the final movie with it had with the cast.
Oh,
Beyond,
yeah.
Star Trek Beyond, and it had is the bad guy? It was Idris Elba.
I think so. I don't remember the names of the cast and everything like that, but
Yeah. Anyway, I saw that one. I didn't enjoy that one. First of all, for those who have seen it, they have this really huge. So the Enterprise is supposed to be 3 years exploring deep space, and now they're going to go get refitted or something. I don't know what they go back to the base for, but they go back to base. So you presume it's the closest base, right? It's even on the edge of known space. And yet it's this massive, huge thing filled with millions of people, millions. It's not it's bigger than a colony. It's huge. You see, it's like rings, rings, and each ring has got hundreds of skyscraper-like buildings. We're talking thousands, millions of people. They even say millions of people in this glass dome, far beyond the technology they should have at this point from the Star Trek we know. Anybody ever seen the K7 space station? Or was it K9, K12, whatever space station with the trouble with tribbles? Yeah. And I get having something like this. In a remake of The Next Generation, I guess having something like this, but not in a remake of the original series. This is just too fantastic for where they should be at this time. It's just kind of my thinking. Anybody else agree with me, or am I cray? Anyway, somebody.
Sorry, had to cough. Sorry, had to cough.
So. Yes. Oh yes, she's wonderful. Yeah. So the Nightbot program is awesome. Miss Kristen, thank you very much for that. So one of the things, has anybody here? I wanted to mention this just to kind of. Anybody here remember Ice Pirates?
Ice Pirates.
No,
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Let me give the chat just a moment to see if anybody in the chat remembers Ice Pirates, sci-fi from the 80s. Name of the guest up on the screen by their faces. We could, in this fact, one of the things I'm going to be doing is I'm going to, there we go. Wes. I'm going to be changing the software I use. So it'll have this stuff more gooder. It's just going to take me a while to get it set up because it's hard. It's hard.
I was in the chat where you were talking about all that setting up and things, and I didn't know anything really what you guys were talking about. And I was sitting there and I was like, oh man, Wes was there. They could actually be understanding what everyone was saying. Yeah. And then next day I tried to tell what I knew, but it was a bit limited.
Yeah, it's okay, but it's just really hard. It's hard. It's complicated. It is complicated. But there's some things I want to point out. Some things. So we've got some people who remember Ice Pirates. Robert Urich. I'm not sure how he says his name. Robert Urich. He was going around with a group of people stealing ice. It's been a long time since I've seen it. I don't remember everything about the movies, but I loved it. It was fun. It was a hilarious movie, and they had this thing. Somebody brought on their ship space herpes. And the space herpes is like, Alien is about the size of the little proto-alien that first pops out of somebody. It's about that big, and it'd run along. I think it even stopped and did the hello, my honey, hello. I'm not really sure if it did or not. Ice Pirates was a hilarious show. I really enjoyed that. And, for me, when I was young, I was really into Spencer for Hire. So it had, Robert Urich, and it had Avery Brooks. Okay, so this will all come together. So then I see him, Robert Urich, as a modern day driving an 80s Mustang, or 60s Mustang, kind of investigator kind of thing. And I thought he was cool. And then one day he shows up on this Ice Pirates as this space pirate. I thought, man, there's one of my heroes, and he's now a space pirate. I thought that was wonderful. Then I'm watching Deep Space Nine. And I enjoyed the captain, or he was commander when he first started. I enjoyed him. He was cool. Somewhere along the way, the Captain Sisko leaned forward and he didn't have a mustache or goatee, and he had hair. And he leaned forward and he covered his mouth like this. And I remember I was about 15 or 16 or something. And he covered his mouth like that. When he did, it snapped on me that the guy I'm looking at, the guy I've been watching for 2 years as the commander of this space station, was Hawk from Spencer from Hire, the big, huge black guy who would come out of nowhere and boom, boom, boom with a big gun and save Spencer whenever he needed it at the last moment. Then he'd kind of disappear off into his own world. I was like, it blew my mind. I fell about myself on the floor. I thought that was just amazing. And then shortly thereafter, they let him shave his head, and he grew his goatee. Well, actually, he actually grew his goatee, and then he shaved his head. And I was like, there's my guy. That whole time I've been watching, I didn't know who it was. Still blows my mind. So all going back. So Ice Pirates. Now, what was it we were saying about before the Ice Pirates?
Well, I was actually just like, since this is a sci-fi thing and you've mentioned games a couple of times, I thought I'd mention like kind of like obscure games to like to tie with my channel, I guess. But there's this game called XCOM.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, and it was like a turn-based sort of game where you had a squad of people and you had to take down like aliens and things like that. But it, like after doing that, you'd have to then build up your base, and then it got quite hard. And then they actually made a few like remakes of it. But I played the most recent remake, and it was really, really good on the PlayStation 4. And I was like, wow, this game is like everything that I remember from in the 90s when I was playing it, with just like excellent additions all around that was put in. It's just really enjoyable. But it was just quite cool because it was like an alien game, and it wasn't like a shooter like Doom per se. It was like a turn-based system, so it was more like, you know, more like a kind of chess kind of sort of thing, kind of going down.
Right. Well, you know, that's exactly why I didn't play XCOM, was because it was a turn-based, and I just never got into that as a video game. But I enjoyed the graphics whenever I saw it. Now, somebody here, and I see other people bringing in games. Easism works as me mentioning Metroid. Now, Metroid.
Oh yeah.
Metroid had the original game. Go online, you can find ROMs for Metroid. Now, there's this one called A2R or something. I don't remember what it's called exactly, A2R, just remember it's something like that. And it's a remake of Metroid. So somebody spent his own money, got his own developers, and rebuilt Metroid. And it's not really, it is upgraded in graphics, but it gives you all kinds of things that just make the game just perfect. It's just wonderful Metroid. It's Metroid goulash with like parmesan spread all over it. And it's wonderful Metroid. The only thing that I cannot get past about it, and maybe it's just me, is there's a section in Metroid, and it is Metroid. It's the same game as Metroid. It's just it's wonderful. There's this part where you have to be really good at the whole jump and shoot and run and break and stuff, and you have to go up and break and up and break, and I just never can get through that. I think I blame my control.
Yeah, I understand that. Sometimes you get a block in a game, and it's just so hard to get past. You either like spend ages getting past it, or just give up after a while and just like, right, that game beats me on that particular thing. Yeah.
So the Metroid, is this one. Like I say, it's one you can find out there. It's not Metroid. It's not the original. It's a ROM you can get. It's free. You can find it, download it. You know, if you know what I'm talking about, you know how to do that stuff. Yeah. Let's see, Metroid Prime. I never played Metroid Prime. Space.
That was the 3D one for like the GameCube or something, wasn't it? I think. But yeah, it was quite interesting because it was like they tried to stay quite true to the thing whilst making the 3D version of the game, and yeah, I mean, pretty good.
So I'm looking up the Space 1999. Paul Cammish mentioned it. See, it's not. There was a game I thought this was. It's not it. This is from an older series. Yes. So the version on Wii, Metroid game. Okay, so they're still talking about the Metroid and Doom. I really enjoyed. Me and the wife. My wife really loves watching me play video games. You know, that's one of the biggest selling points about it. I got sold. I'll take the one with the dark hair. And she loves the new Doom game. Just loves it. I need to take this computer, or she could watch it. We could play it up here. She loves watching the Doom game. She loves watching me play that one. It's fast. It's action packed, especially when I get the shotgun and I'm sticking it, and it's just great. So. 2016 Doom, yeah, that's good. I like them all. Doom 3, I've really enjoyed all the Doom games. Yeah. Matter of fact, I even went back after showing her Doom. I have not gone back and played Doom 3, but I did go back and play Quake 4 for her because they're made by the same people, come out at the same time, and she really enjoyed that one too. It's a little grosser. Anybody familiar with Quake 4? familiar with before, where it takes you through this room and it cuts you, and it stabs you in the chest, like this blood squirts everywhere, and then it cuts off your legs and you scream and waller about after seeing it happen to someone ahead of you. So you watch it on this train, and then you get to see it happen to yourself. That was kind of a lot for her. So,
yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, well, and she's a nurse, so yeah. Anyway, yes, Mass Effect. I love the Mass Effect. I enjoy the Mass Effect games. The second one is my favorite. The third one is okay. They get too wishy-washy with the story, with her seeing people over there and the people running away from her and you running slowly like you're in a dream and you can't catch them. I mean, that's not what I signed up for with Mass Effect. Other than that, I enjoyed the third game. I just didn't really care for the ending. Getting Doom Eternal, yes, that's a good idea. I enjoy that idea. Wolfenstein, yeah, Wolfenstein could be. That's true.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I didn't like about the Mass Effect, the third one. As a matter of fact, Kristen, the longer it goes, the more I crave wanting to play a game. And the wife, like I just said, loves watching a game. She would probably sit here and watch me if I did a Twitch channel and played a game. So I'm getting close to doing that. Miss Kristen has been encouraging me, best name ever, has been encouraging me to do that. So I'm sure I would have some built-in Twitch followers. I don't know. Some of you folk could come watch me over at Twitch. It'd be fun. Watching me get my ass kicked. I'm an old guy, right? I got the gray hairs. But you know what? I tell you, I am the first generation, the first generation that kind of got video games. They were Pong and all this stuff, but it was my generation that got those things the first. So if you're older than me, you're not really into video games so much. If you're younger than me, then video games become more and more intricate integral with your life. Kids nowadays, they get the video games as a phone. You give them games as entertainment, just so they'll shut up in the back seat of your car, and it starts out right. So, but with us, I was like, oh, we're gonna get Pong. Oh, yay, Pong! We got Pong. I'm like, hey, quit kicking my ass at Pong. Then we got Nintendo, the original Nintendo. I loved Nintendo, and then wasn't that the one that had
an NES? Yeah,
an NES. And part of the deal was like Atari. When we had Pong. I don't know how we got Pong. I think it was some guy gave it to my mom. Anyway, but when it came to Atari and those kind of games, we were really poor, and we didn't get to have those games for most of my youth. The only time I got to play those was down at these friends, and they were kind of mean. They would sit there and play them without us, or we just watch and they played them. Even if one of them wasn't there, the other one would play the 2-player like tank game all by himself and wouldn't let us play. Anyway,
another level.
Yeah. Then we moved to Oklahoma, had other friends, and we'd go over their house, and they had the NES with the wrestling game and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And that shooter game where they shoot the ducks.
Yeah.
That was wonderful. So, what was the one? Then they came out with Super Nintendo, but then there was the
don't forget Sega.
Mike Tyson. Oh, Sega. Yeah, I really enjoyed the Sega. Sega was the good thing. Yeah.
I was a Mortal Kombat guru for a while.
Yeah, I played a lot of fighting games. So, I loved Streets of Rage was one of my favorite games ever, and that was on the Sega. Yeah. And then they've got the Street Fighter and Tekken and all those things that came out on the Super Nintendo and the PlayStation and stuff like that. I really hooked into them when I was younger and got rather obsessive about it.
Yeah. Well, that's how. Well, one of the things is we were. To answer her question, the early 70s. Okay, so she knows who I'm talking to. You ever have, especially like you're a youth and you got something that's always dangled in front of you, and you never quite get to have it. Well, that's kind of how it was with us. Me and my twin brother. I had a twin brother, and it was with Cokes and games. We were so, like I said, Atari, we went to friends' house. They were kind of mean. They wouldn't let us. Well, we went to other friends' houses to play Nintendo when we moved to Oklahoma, and those friends, they would let us play. This just their parents got tired of having us around all the time, but we never had that game. Yeah. It wasn't until we got older. So when me and my brother got old enough to have money and got jobs, and what did we do? We got games, man, and we would play those games night and day. We'd go rent them from the Blockbuster, and the goal was to beat the game by the end of the weekend. That was, it was like an addiction. Now I still play games. My twin brother, he is addicted to games. He really likes like tank games, Tank. Yeah, the war games and stuff like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Coke, though. We used to drink the crap out of Coke. It was as soon as I got the money to get it, I was like, "Ooh!" I had like 4 or 5 of those 44 ounces a day. I got 280 pounds. Yeah, that was many moons ago. I was a grande boy. Let's see. Sega nerd. The only Sega game I really ever played was, I think, the first one with the Sonic the Hedgehog. A couple of games, yeah.
Yeah, I played a bit of that because I had a Nintendo. I never really got to play much of the Sega, but I, like, with one of my friends when I was growing up, we used to go and hire the Sega Mega Drive because that was better than the Nintendo that I had at home, and that's where we played quite a few of the Sega games, and then we found Streets of Rage, and we just hired that. Even though we would beat it every weekend, we'd just come back and just play, just living the hell out of that game. It's just one of those ones you can thrash.
Yeah. Well, Kirsten mentions that, some people, I'm just saying, I'm talking generationally. Generally, people who are older than me. But there are outliers, like myself, actually, I think. But yeah, games, I got to a point where I'd play games like that, the console games, and then with Red Baron 3D was the first game I built a computer for. And from them, I've only bought consoles, like for my son, to play little games. You go play your little games over there with your consoles. I'll play real games on my computer. So,
yeah, I understand.
And, anybody play Halo? Hands up for Halo.
Oh yeah, man, all the time. I used to thrash the heck out of that game.
So I had a friend coming through town. I met him through playing Red Baron 3D. Red Baron games. So this is World War I planes. He's coming through town. He's just going to like Utah or something, and just 20 miles outside of town, his transmission goes out on his car. So he has to stay with me for a week while he waits for his car. So we set up 2 desks side by side, and I'm playing my game. I don't even remember what it was. And he was like, "Do you want to play some Halo?" I was like, "Nah, I don't really care for that first person shooter up stuff. That's all, lowbrow stuff. I like smart people games." And he finally talked me into that Halo game. And man, I love that stuff. I'd play it till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'd get up at 7 o'clock and go to work. And I showed my boss how to play it. My boss even liked it, but he couldn't never figure out how to, he'd always run out of ammo and he'd just die. I'm like, dude, just pick it up. It's everywhere. Pick up weapons. They're everywhere. He just never could.
Pick up weapons.
Anything. He just never could. Once he ran out of ammo, he was just dead. I'm like, dude, anyway, but I loved Halo. I played that game for quite a while. That was quite a thing.
I played a lot of the series of Halo and all the way through, like with a few of my mates over the years. And it's like, I'm not a big first person shooter fan, but that game sort of hooked me in with the sort of like futuristic sort of vibe that it had, and like the alien weapons that you picked up. It wasn't just like picking up a pistol or a machine gun. It's like, okay, these ones are slightly homing, and then when they hit the opponent, they'll then explode and stuff like that. It's like, okay, that's an interesting weapon. I'll take this thing and see what happens with it. Yeah.
They were fun. My mama Atheist, she's leaving. Miss Amanda's leaving. They were some fun games. So that introduced me to first person. I did some of the Modern Warfare, and I have a few. I load up my Steam and I've got them in there. I just don't play them, but I did. I could, if I ever got bored, stuck on a desert island with just me and my computer, I could probably just whip out. But that's not really my kind of bag. I don't know. I like more sci-fi games. Sci-fi is my thing. I really should enjoy the rest of those. What are the ones we were talking about earlier? The religious
Dead Space.
Dead Space. Yeah, they've got 2 or 3 games to that, and I don't think I've ever finished the first one. Yeah, so I need to go finish them. So let's see if I've got any comments here. Other people, to the left, to the left. Mama Atheist left, so see her later. Good morning, theological introspection. Just seeing if I've got anybody else. Yeah, so I really now, I played the, what's that one? The Dragonborn. Oh man, Skyrim. I really enjoyed Skyrim. I have Skyrim. Yeah. I enjoyed Skyrim, but I'd have to go back and play it again. Did they upgrade it? Is it doing better? Because it was there were parts about it when I played it that I didn't care for. God equals the square root of -1 has arrived. Dead Space 1 should be played on hard, by the way. Okay, hard, yeah. Yeah, I did enjoy Dead Space. Dead Space got that fear factor too. The wife, she says she doesn't like scary things. She likes scary things. She really does. She does. So I probably should play that one again. Yeah. That's a good one. And go back and play Doom 3. For those of you that, Doom 3 is a quality game, even today. The only thing I didn't like about Doom 3 is you had to have all these codes. You had to go read this pad over here and pay attention to what it said, because you're gonna need that code to get in there to get that special armor. And it does a lot of that. And I didn't want to have to keep up with all that crap. We actually went on the internet and found this cheat thing that this is just printed out sheet that gave us all the codes, because I didn't want to not my bag. So
yeah.
But now we've been playing the Tomb Raider, and we really enjoyed the Tomb Raider. And then they came out with a movie. They came out with a movie. I don't remember which one was first, but I think we played the game first, and then we saw the movie, and we really enjoyed both of them. The wife really liked it. So I think I've played all 3 of the games, if there's 3 games.
What, Tomb Raider?
Tomb Raider,
yeah. I played the original Tomb Raider back in the day when it was on the PC, sort of things like that.
Yeah.
So I haven't played much of the new stuff, but yeah, I definitely enjoyed the sort of puzzles / action sort of over the head shooter sort of thing that they had. Whatever, third person shooter, is that what they call it? Yeah.
I think it's more of a third person. I think it's not. Yeah, it's a third person shooter kind of thing, and it does have some puzzles. The newer one does. Yeah. She's not as endowed, and I mean she's like the old games were really about her breasts, watching some woman jump around with breasts. That's what it was about: guns, breasts, shorty shorts. Now
because it said like the puzzle element to it was almost like a spiritual successor to Prince of Persia, almost. Prince of Persia
totally
was
give it that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I give it that. They were selling that with boobs. Totally.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is
I'm not denying that was one of the selling points of the game. I'm just saying there was another aspect of it too.
Yeah, the new one, the lady is the new one was produced in a more realistic fashion. Yeah. So she's I really appreciate both the movie and the show. And trust me, I'm a boob guy. I'm all about boobs. There's no doubt there. It's just they did it very practically. They did it cool and respectful to women. They did her good justice and kept a good story. And the games have a lot of puzzles and stuff. So they're a lot of fun. I thought there could have been more tomb raiding and less running around in the forest. There's more running around in the forest and less tomb raiding than I appreciate in the games. Just saying.
Yeah.
Dragon Age. I don't know if I played Dragon Age. I used to play those ones that were. I don't think I played Dragon Age, or I haven't played God of War. But I would. It's not that I wouldn't. I just never have. I would. It looks like a cool game. God of War looks like fun. Because we're all atheists anyway. Good night, Theological. Have a good night. See you later.
See you there.
See, and that's right. Kristen, I too am fiending for video games.
Final Fantasy. Yeah,
Final Fantasy. Yeah. I've never played Final Fantasy. My little brother
played any of the Final Fantasy.
Not a one of them. Not a one. My little brother did. Zelda. I played Zelda. I could go on Twitch and play Zelda, and I would play Tomb Raider, and I would play Portal. Those games I would play.
Yeah,
I would have a good time.
Portal would be a really cool one for Twitching, because like people could give you ideas to do silly things, and you could just sort of do crazy stuff with that game.
Yeah.
For the mechanics.
I've seen there's ways you can break the game and kind of go through it really fast. I don't want to do that. I want to go through the puzzles. That's the whole for me. That's the purpose of and then the commentary. That little creature that talks to you, the little robot or whatever. That's hilarious. It gets all mad at you and starts insulting you, and like, you put on weight, didn't you? Funny, other people around here seem to be getting skinnier. Yet you, thunder thighs. And I'm like, bitch, what are you talking about? Like, I felt personally attacked. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I played a little bit of that game because, like, after playing it in Lego, I was like, I had to check out what this game was all about. And I was like, oh, this game is pretty cool. But I've never played it like the full way through.
Which game is that?
With Portal. Like, I played it. Yeah, because like I got this Lego game where you can like it's. I was thinking before when you were talking about scary games, and I was like, what was like the most scary game I had recently? I was like, oh, you're kidding me! It was that Lego Dimensions game that I was playing, and I was playing the Doctor Who level, and like, has anyone here watched Doctor Who? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know the angels.
Yeah. We'll just say you say yeah. Go forward.
Yeah, those things that are indestructible and they only move when you turn your back on them. But when you're looking at them, they can't move. Sort of things. I think we call them the Weeping Angels or something like that.
That's cool.
And but they're also like impossible to kill. They will kill you and stuff like that. So like, they actually kind of freaked me out in the Lego game. And I was sitting there and actually playing the game again, like because it was doing lighting and all sorts of things. I was like, wait a minute, did bloody Lego just kind of like give me a little like adrenaline rush sort of thing? I was like, wow, that's well done, guys. Yeah. That was in the Doctor Who segment of the game.
Yeah, I've never played either one of those. I've never played any of the Doctor Who, or that one there specifically. The Lego games, I've missed them all. I've never really played any of them.
Well, yeah. How this is like talking about sci-fi stuff. This Lego Dimension game, you can get like Marty McFly, and you can play around in his things, and so you can play all these different like little sci-fi worlds. Some of them you get quite like a little level that you can just run around, and some actually give you a story mode mission sort of things. It's quite cool. I actually got to get the little figurines, so I collect Legos and Transformers and stuff like that. So
absolutely,
yeah.
Decepticons and well, really, just briefly back to the Portal. I just want to mention Portal. The first Portal game is quite. It's unfortunately short. It is a quite short game. I think like an hour and a half. If you've
what really?
Yeah, so
that is remarkably short in today's world.
And then the second one's more respectable, like a 4 or 5 hour, I guess maybe. I don't remember exactly. I just remember the first one being really short. So just remember that. So yeah, that's not that long. Alien Isolation was a terrifying game, according to Jump Shop Library, and I think I remember that, and I believe I remember that. Yeah, that was pretty scary.
Alien Isolation.
Yeah, I think you got to be the alien, a soldier, or something else.
Was that in like 2000-ish time that it came out in? So I think I might have played that, and that was quite scary. If that's the case, it was around then. Yeah, that was cool. You
those were some fun games. Now I just and one more to my Twitch list would be Metroid. I'd have to play that modified Metroid on my Twitch if I could.
Yeah.
I'm plotting now. Now I'm plotting. Y'all got me fiending for games. We're like, honey, I need to play a game. Would you like to watch me play a game? Just hope she says yes.
I feel like I should start one as well, right? Where I play Streets of Rage all the time, and then just people will just drop in and play half an hour of Streets of Rage every week.
There you go. I'm not familiar with that. Hey, Matt Pig, how's it going? Sorry, Streets of Rage. You were saying.
Yeah, it's like a cooperative game. That's like I was thinking we were talking about scary games. Have you ever played a game called Left 4 Dead?
I've heard that's a good one. I've played it.
Yeah, that's a good game because you have like a four-player cooperative, right? Yeah, and you're trying to survive against zombies, and so like you get points for surviving. You don't really get points if your teammates survive, so it gets a bit cutthroat. Yeah, but it's cool. It's really good. Yeah.
I enjoyed another game. I enjoyed from kind of I think that same era was a Crysis. Any of y'all play Crysis?
No,
I've heard of it. Never played it.
Oh man, Crysis was a great game. You're like a Marine, but you have this special suit on, and you can make it really hard or really fast, or you could be really strong, or you could be really,
awesome.
And it was great.
Cool.
You could turn invisible. It was, and they had 3 or 4 games in it where you fought first Koreans and then you fought aliens. Work that out on you. That was, but it was good. They did it good. That was a great game. Let's see, Alien versus Predator. That was good. I played some of that. Dead Space game. Yeah, I'd have to go play some of the Dead Space again because that's
that's coming up a lot.
Yeah,
that's one that you can probably Twitch, and people obviously be interested in seeing you play. So
yeah,
that'd be one
I
to put
don't
you
know.
there.
I'm an old guy. Twitch, I don't understand Twitch. I don't really get why somebody would want to go watch somebody else play a game, but they do by the millions, and I can't argue. It's just a young people thing.
It's like how Badger was on the other day and talking about how some people like avatars and things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you've got Twitch happening, and then instead of just seeing some people sitting around talking, which some people like to see the talking heads, so that is good for them, but some people just want to hear people talk whilst just chilling and playing computer games. They're not super invested in the game. They're sort of more invested in the people who are playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is just sort of like visual eye candy, and if they start playing a game that they like, then that will increase their enjoyment of the video that much exponentially, sort of things. But yeah, I think it's more about the people who are coming for the personality, and the other stuff is just popcorn.
There you go. Yeah, that makes sense. It does, and it's just a part of the world I've not exposed myself to. I see it, I just don't understand it yet.
Here's a thought, right? You know how I was telling you about cooperative games and things like that, right? So as I was saying, like I could play Streets of Rage and have a person on there, but you could play like Left 4 Dead or something like that, and that would sort of inspire more of a comedy one because people would be doing shenanigans to each other left, right, and center.
Yeah.
But have you seen Graham Norton do his interviews on the Graham Norton show, or there's another guy called Alan Carr but what they do is that they get their guests, they get them to drink some alcohol when they come onto the set, right? So that gets them all sort of talking loosely, sort of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the same with like gaming. It's like an icebreaker or something like that. So people, they might feel nervous about sitting here and talking like this, but they'd feel less nervous about having a chat with someone whilst playing a computer game that they're more familiar with.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, again, maybe I should just because Kristen really has been suggesting that ever since. I mean, I see her shilling other people's Twitch channels. Somebody else is playing Twitch, and she's like, "Hey, go watch Twitch." So maybe I ought to get me into some Twitch.
Yeah,
maybe some games. Take a break or something. Sounds like. Well, we're hitting the top of the hour. Do you guys want to tell us real briefly and shill out your channels and tell us, who you are?
I'll also shill the fact that you're doing that AD&D campaign thing, and that's like sort of leading to what you were just saying before about how we do you should do Twitch because it will allow you to do some streaming, but also to be able to multitask and actually play a game and sort of unwind at the same time. So it wouldn't be too labor intensive, and it would be a little bit easier for you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
So be able to
I'm working that in my head.
Fully. Yeah.
I'm working that angle.
Yep. Good.
Because I love a game. I do.
Yeah. And hey, if you can make it work for you, then all the better. Hey,
Oh yeah. Well, if you could have the part of the deal is building audience and building community.
Yeah.
If I can find people over there and bring them over here.
And the more diversified that you get, the more audience people you'll be able to reach for things because you'll be hitting different, demographics.
Very true. I'm gonna have to look that up. I think they may even have a Darkwing Duck game somewhere out there. I love me.
Oh, what? Oh my God! Let me know if they do. I need to know.
I think they did on Nintendo.
What's that?
I think they had one for Nintendo, didn't they?
Yeah, back in the
day.
It was actually a pretty good game. Yeah.
So I may have to find out if I can find me a ROM or something. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Wes, you want to tell us about your channel real quick, and then we'll.
Yeah. We have Robert Price coming on tonight at 5:00 Eastern time. Duncan and I will be. Well, Duncan will be hosting it. I guess. I hope he knows that.
And then, yeah, I know that.
Okay.
Just write something down. Don't mind me.
Okay. I'll be hosting Guild of Reason. He'll be hosting the other one, Obscure Observations. So we'll take turns being boss on our channel. So
yeah, dude. And I hope it's not my turn too often
Yeah.
I'm badly organized. But that's why we sort of teamed up as well, is because we complemented each other's styles quite well, and that way we actually get stuff done.
There you go. Well, so Stephen Price, what did you say his name? Stephen Price?
Or Robert Price.
Robert Price. So he's an
Robert
author,
Price.
right? He's going to be on your show tonight
Yeah,
at 5 Eastern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So that's good. He'll be on
And
their
we
channel.
talk about the historically of Jesus in it.
Historicity.
Yeah, but he's a mythicist like Richard Carrier. And he's got a lot of books out too. Way more than Richard Carrier and stuff, actually.
Yeah, so
he's been at it longer.
Yeah, he's going to be on your channel tonight, and both of your channels, right? You're going to double stream out to each channel. That's great. And then a self shield. I'm going to be on Nick Neal, the 604 Atheist, his channel tonight at, I think it's 9 Eastern, 7 my time, because it's 7 my time, so 9 Eastern. Nice. And then there'll be the after party. So you guys join us tonight and watch me get interviewed about my deconversion story on Neil, the 604 Atheist channel. Then join me for an after party. Matt Big, whomever, because we got tons of people out there. Whoever y'all are, come and join us, and we'll have us a good time tonight at my show. And then, of course, sometime Duncan and Wes would probably want to have Robert Price show up on Neil's channel. To be interviewed. And then, of course, maybe we could get him on the Daily Atheist show. I am all for that. So, matter of fact, I'm going to have 3 authors on my show next week.
Oh, great.
Thursday and Friday, I'm going to have Stephen Tiger and one of his author friends. He's got an author friend who's put out an atheist-related book. And then Friday is going to be Stephen Tiger co-hosting with a separate another author. So, we're going to have a run of sci-fi, or not sci-fi, but atheist authors on our channel.
Great.
Cool.
Yeah. So, all right, everybody, thank you. And don't forget to check out their channels. The descriptions are below. Thank you all for showing up. I appreciate it. I'm going to hit Kirsten up or whoever. I'm going to look into the Twitch thing, because that's just a good idea. I could come over here and Twitch for a few minutes. So you guys have a great day. I'll talk to y'all later.
Thank you.